Let's get it.
Let's get it. It is the Get Loud podcast presented by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. Find tickets to Commanders games and more at SeatGeek. And now, we're going to start off hot with the hot ticket presented by SeatGeek, the most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek. How you guys doing here at Franklin Hall tonight?
Yeah, get loud, baby, get loud.
I just knew he was going to be loud on Get Loud.
No, get loud. Like I already told you, I already played 18 holes of golf today. All right? I am very there right now.
Yeah.
Let's have fun tonight.
I felt the energy walking in the door.
We knew an hour ago you were ready to have a good time. If you just joined us for the first time, this is the Get Loud pod. Normally, it's me and Smoot.
Yeah.
And we go just kind of off on whatever we want to talk about. We got Tana here tonight as well. It drops every Friday during the offseason, every Monday during the season. We got, if you want to leave a live voicemail right now, we have a landline.
We got a landline. We the last people in America.
That's right.
We're the landline. Tell Grandmama Nims, tell Grandpapa to hit us up, leave a message, tell us how you feel about the team or anything that we're talking about that day.
Tell me who idea was that to get the landline?
That was Anna.
That was Anna.
That was Anna's idea.
Oh, it was Jason.
It was Jason's idea?
Okay.
We got the whole, we got Caleb on the camera, we got Jason here, producer Anna,
We got
Caroline
Caroline
here.
over there. We got all of the group here.
The whole crew. So we're going live.
Yeah.
And this is the way to do it after you get finished playing 18 holes. You've had a good afternoon. We've had a good day.
Yeah.
And now we get to talk about OTAs and what's coming up for the upcoming season. So let's just start with a general question, like when it comes to the offseason, when it comes to OTAs, like this is good work, but it's not necessarily the work that you want to do. You want to be ready for training camp, you want to be ready for the season. So how hard is it to stay motivated and say, this is the important stuff right here?
I think different strokes for different folks. I was one of those guys that I had to be there. I had to see my fellow teammates. I had to see the coaches. I wanted to put the work in and make sure they eyes saw it. No matter how old I was in my game, how much of a veteran I was, I wanted them to see the work. So when I left there for that little extended period right before training camp, they had a good mindset on what I was bringing to the table come training camp. So I love this time in the period because I feel like when I get there and I be around the fellas putting in the work, at least I'm leaving something on the table for the coaches to say, okay, I'm not worried about this guy.
Yep. I think this time is actually more for the players than it is the coaches.
Okay.
Jinx, think about this. Like at this time of the year, we actually chill more off the field than we do on the field.
Yeah,
like this is when we become a family. This is when we become friends. This is when we become more like everybody's worried about the 53rd guy on the roster. We actually get cool with the 76th guy on the roster. All right, and we want him to make it.
Crap games at Fred House.
Yes. Like, this is when we become a team. This is paramount to what they finna build right now because this is not about plays. This is not about being in shape. This is about relationships. In relationship, the best individuals never win the Super Bowl. Yeah. The best team wins the Super Bowl, and this is when you become a team.
What do you learn in OTAs as opposed to training camp that maybe you don't get elsewhere when it comes to practicing?
I think if you've been on the team for a while with the same staff, you could pick on some of the you could pick up on some of the things that probably nuances that you just ain't know about the playbook. Like, let's be real. Like,
is it also too like you just kind of grow closer to because it's just another year together?
Yeah, you lay on the playbook. I don't need to relearn something I learned.
See, I was one of those guys that I paid close attention to what I had to do. Once I had it down packed, now I'm gonna move on and learn his job. Once I get there, I'm gonna learn his job. So, if you ask me that question as a guy been on the team for 3 years now, same system. I just learned somebody else's position. I took my time to say, hey, I'm caught up on mine. Yeah. Let me go find out what this guy do so I know when this play is called, at least I know what the other guy, because I know the receivers. Yep. Now let me learn what the linemen do in this protection. You know?
So how does that help you? Because, like, Josh Connerly Jr. is a guy we've heard about a lot where, okay, he knows his position, but even when he was at Oregon, he wanted to know what every dude on the offense was doing. So how does that help you as a player saying, okay, I know my job, but I know your job as well?
Well, one of the things that worked for me, especially when I got late in my career, I remember being in the slot, coming into games, and I got Pierre on the outside, and he's one of our free agency pickups. And I'm telling him, I'm patting my hand. Yeah. Like, hey, ball coming to you. Yeah. I'm looking at coverages like I just knew it now because I guess my football IQ was on another level. I was much older. I had to use more of my brain than my gears because now I'm on fifth or sixth gear.
It slowed down for you.
And it slowed down for me. So, it helps a lot because now you can see the game before the hike of the ball. And I think the game is won here more so than it is athletically.
Yeah.
So if you know the game, that's why people question about why Jaden Daniels is so great. He's athletically gifted, but he's smart
mentally.
as heck. He sees things that they don't know he sees, at a young age. So when you have a guy that's thinking beyond just X's and O's, man, that's how it's won.
No, he's right. Like, at the end of the day, what made Jaden Daniels good is the fact that, first of all, he played a lot of college football.
Yes.
Like, when you play a lot of college football, you've seen a lot of defenses. When you've seen a lot of defenses, you see how they're going to try to stop you. They're going to try to spy me. They're going to try to do this. They're going to try to do this. They're going to try to do this. So I always said this class, I felt like, was the best class of quarterbacks I have ever seen in my life because I called them COVID babies. They COVID babies because they got that extra year to play football.
Right.
And you don't know what an extra year would do for you as a college athlete.
Yeah.
It's so good that they have changed the rules in junior college to make it to the where your junior college don't count no more. They understand, let these guys play football, let them learn football, and now we get a better product once they make it to the league.
Well, if you want to leave us a question, feel free to write down a question. We're going to answer questions later on here during the pod. We're also going to listen to the landline. Anna, right, you can pick up the landline right here?
Yeah, we got the landline right there.
Oh, no. Now it's a no.
That's for next week's episode. Leave us a message on the landline to be featured in one of next week's episodes.
Okay, producer Anna answered, but we do have messages for tonight.
But if you want to have a question answered at today's show, that table over there, write down a question and we'll answer it live for you.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Now, I know that's kind of 1970. Write it down.
Right up your alley.
No, you can text me if you want to. I don't know if that's good, but
We'll give Fred's number to everybody, and then you can text Fred personally. So thank you guys for coming out. We're just getting started here.
No doubt.
So when you don't have a veteran like a Scary Terry or someone like that or Laramie Tunsil, how big is it that they're not here? Or is it one of those things where you say, look, you guys have earned the benefit of the doubt?
Well, I think when you look at what's making these guys, not be here. So for Terry, for example, you understand it's money. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's business.
Right.
That guy's going to be here, front and center. He's gonna always show up. When you get guys like Tunsil, when you get guys like I guess you can say Lattimore, those guys who come from other teams and this is what they're accustomed to. You kind of want to bend a little bit and say, well, this is what he's used to. I'm on your side, but as long as you bring your behind here when it's time to go be ready to go. So that's how I look at it, man. I would love to see him here, but if that's what they're used to, that's what makes them great, then go be great.
When is news not news? Like, the only reason they are news is because they the new free agents, they on a new team, and they not here. All right, at the end of the day, that don't make that news. All right, we got a left tackle that's been one of the best left tackles in the league for the last 9 years. All right, and you
already know what you're getting in him.
No, I know what I'm getting from him.
Right.
All right, Marshawn Lattimore, whatever they want to say about how he ended the season or what he didn't do well, I got faith in him because I understand that he came in the middle of the season. He was injured when he got here. He was trying to get back with the rest of the team and do stuff. I understand the situation. What I want everybody else to do is understand the situation, but don't make it today's in evening news because it's not news.
Tell me this though, you get guys like Tunsil, just got here. You just got came over here free agency. When you want them to say, hey, whatever I did in the past, this is a new team. It's a reset for me. Show me something. You know what I mean? Show me what I'm getting.
Tanner, I would rather for that to happen that way. But that ain't the way it always goes. And then we're talking about OTAs. We're not talking about mandatory camp. We're not talking about everybody needs to be accountable. Everybody needs to be here. Once you see JD5 there, that's all that matters to me. Once the quarterback is there, everything else falls in line after him. Tunsil, deal what you got to do. Because I understand some of these guys we traded for, they also want new deals. They're not just here to just play football. It's a business part of that. And I'm not willing to go into the business part of that because I never did when I was playing. I let everybody individually handle their business because that's what we do.
And also one thing we do know is that this is huge for the rookies, right? Like the vets, Laramie Tunsil, we know what he can do. Terry McLaurin, we know what he can do. But if you're a Josh Connor, if you're a Trey Amos, the early returns on these guys are that they look really sharp.
Well, the thing about Trey Amos I really do love, like I was telling Tanner before we got on here, he's a wide receiver at cornerback. He understands the cornerback receiver because he understands wide receivers. He understands who he's playing, why he's playing, what he's doing. He loves the press. He's long. His ball skills are off the thing. Connolly is what I really do love about him is when you get a offensive lineman that used to play a different position, I always say you got something special.
Yeah.
Trent Williams, if you ever play basketball with him, will literally cross you over and dunk on you.
Yeah.
No. He would cross you over and dunk on you as a 300-pounder.
Is that right?
He was light on his feet.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Light on his feet. He played running back also in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So what you got to understand is Connolly played running back in high school. So when I get these guys that have that athletic ability, I just want to see it.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to see it. And think about this. Connolly is 310 pounds, and we saying he can put on more weight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That means he's an athlete.
Yeah.
He's super athletic. I mean, he's always been. He was a 5-star dude back in high school. And what I love about that is we didn't necessarily expect him in the first round, but the more you learn about him, the more you listen to him. I love when a GM does his job, and then you're a few hours, a few days, a few weeks later, you say, I see exactly
You like
what
it
you
when they
saw.
don't listen to Mayor Kiper. You
Right.
like that. You
Yeah,
like it
I'm
when
like,
they don't listen
I
to
know
Mayor
when you
Kiper.
trust
your name
yourself,
Fred
you're not
Kiper at
worried
one
about
I was Fred Kiper. Then I lost that name to Logan. Somewhere he became the professor. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, how did that happen?
I don't know. You know what? Jay did that.
Jay did it.
Jay did
So
that.
Jason
Jay did that. He made him the professor and made me the guru. That's what happened.
So you mentioned Jaden Daniels. Like,
Yeah.
what does it mean to have this guy in his second season now, and how do you possibly meet those expectations? For me, I feel like whenever you hear someone say, oh, I'm worried about a sophomore slump, I'm like, listen, man, he's played enough football. You're not going to see any of that.
Well, we have to pay attention to it. It's gonna be brought up. That's something that everyone is going to talk about, whether you're Jaden Daniels or Mike Sanders. Still, like all these guys who come into their second year, somebody's going to whisper, man. So you know,
Can you do what you did
Can you
last
do
year?
They
what
got
you
tape
did
on you now.
or be better?
Yeah.
And what I would say for a guy like Jaden, understand that, man, the way he played last year, it's almost to the point where you're saying to yourself, bro,
It's only going to get better.
Right.
But I'm saying that's how other folks
Right, they're going to
think.
say, like, this is as good as you're going to get.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why it's not. They haven't stopped Lamar Jackson from running in Baltimore.
Yeah,
They haven't
good
stopped
point.
Joe Burrow from throwing
There
in the Bengals. Well, I got to do both well. How are you going to stop as a defensive player?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when we go into the defensive room, it ain't no. He equalizes a defense. He makes us play honest.
Yeah.
He gonna make us play honest. It don't matter what you got. They say, "Can I find something to stop him?" What are you gonna stop? You gonna stop him from throwing? Are you gonna stop him from running? Pick your poison.
Yeah, I heard folks talking about it earlier today on different outlets, and the first thing I thought about, I said, yes. Some of the things you saw last year was almost like, can he do this again? And we say the same thing about Stroud last year, and things were different a little bit for him this year. Teams are going to get accustomed to what you're doing, but I think when you have a guy that's as talented as both of those guys, as long as we get better collectively, then they won't lose a step.
Yeah.
It's all about what you have around them. I think when you see a quarterback not be able to be successful at what Jaden showed you, he was successful at last year, it's because the guys around him. And I think we got better around him. That's why I don't see him, coming back from things that he did last year.
How much do you like how this team is built around Jaden as far as putting the pieces in place, particularly on offense, to make sure he can be more protected, more effective?
Well, they reinforced the offensive line.
Yep.
Let's start there. All right, let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in football, no matter if we want to say it or not. They are the Super Bowl winning champions. They are what we are measured by. All right, we lost trench warfare with them in the playoffs. All right, they beat us up in the trenches. Guess what we went did? We went got 300-pounder after 300-pounder after 300-pounder after 300-pounder. So that's what we did. We went got big. We went got fat. We understood what we had to do. We understood, all right, let's go get Laramie Thompson, one of the best tackles in football. Let's move Coleman to guard. All right, we got a Pro Bowl center. We got another Pro Bowl guard. All right, that gives us a chance to beat a team that won a Super Bowl. So I think what we're doing right now is not sexy, right? Yeah. Like we didn't go get Pickens. We didn't do any sexy things. We went and got guys that matter, and the guys that matter are the big boys. I always tell you that if they don't smell like bacon, I don't want them.
So let's talk about this receiving core as well. Like, not only is Jaden protected, but now you've got so many weapons around, and it starts with Debo now. I mean, Terry, of course, when you talk about new additions, now you've got this Swiss Army knife who can do a little bit of everything on that offense.
Well, one of the things that stand out to me is that I remember last year coming into the season, that was the vocal point about what we needed to I guess you say, get better at, on the offensive side, our receivers.
Yeah.
Our receivers. At nauseam, we talked about the receivers. Then we got in the game, and we was like, well, damn, a lot of these guys are playing a little better than that we expected. And then Terry caught wind, and then everything just went, it was history. He left it behind him.
Once he got going.
Coming into this season, you get Noah Brown back, who I thought was arguably one of our best assets that we had last year.
One of the best receivers played
last year on the offensive side.
Yeah.
You get Noah, you get Gallup from Dallas.
Yeah.
Took a year off and say, hey, I'm ready to come back.
But motivated.
Bingo. Yeah. You get this. You just talked about the Swiss Army knife in Debo. I mean, that alone to me changed everything, the whole trajectory around that offense as a whole.
And you still got Luke McCaffrey. You still got Luke.
So you have so much talent now from a year ago when you were just scratching your head about, do we need more? So I'm high on the receivers, not from the standpoint of the names.
Yeah.
You can say the name. I think you got Terry and you got Debo that stood out. That's proven, and Gallup. But when you talk about the quarterback, the guy who's getting these guys the ball, that's what makes me high on these guys, because he's going to find the guy that's open every time, and whether you are elite guy or not, he's going to make you.
Well, that's what I was about to say. When you got a force multiplier at quarterback, we watched him make receivers look better than they were last year.
Yeah.
We watched him make an offense look better than it was last year. We didn't even have a running game in the last 5 games of the regular season, and he made us have a running game. Yeah. When you got a force multiplier at quarterback, he makes everybody look better. I want y'all to think about Tom Brady in 2001, 2002 with Deion Branch and the rest of those receivers. Still going to the Super Bowl, still going to the playoffs. It didn't matter who his receiver was. Yeah. If your quarterback is a force multiplier, everybody is better on offense.
Isn't that the ultimate compliment for a quarterback? It's just, listen, you've got the guy. Yeah. Just put some pieces around him and let him work.
No, let him work. Let him do his job. But that's your job as a GM, though. Like, figure out what we got. Once we figure out what we got, now let's give him the things he needs to succeed, and I think that's what we're doing right now.
You said it best. Let Grandma cook.
Let Grandma cook. Get out the kitchen.
We're here at Franklin Hall. This is the Get Loud Podcast. Jinx and Smooth. We got Tana with us. Thank you guys for coming out. If you have questions, we're not done. We're just getting going. Thank you guys
for getting started.
We're just getting going. Make sure you write a question down. We're going to answer those later on in the show. Also, for next week, you can leave us a voicemail on the landline, 703-726.
Sing it, Jinx.
7419. Thanks for coming out tonight, guys. All right, it's going to be a great season.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, make sure you tip your waitresses and waiters today. Great to have you with us. I want to ask you, before we move to the defense, Anna, are you going to chime in here? I thought I saw you.
Are you
all
good?
Right. I just want to make sure.
You like you want to chime in over there, Anna.
I'm good.
You
Thank
good?
All right,
I got you.
People like to make sure Anna's okay. They're like, where's Anna? Why haven't we heard from Anna yet? Yeah. But if you're Cliff Kingsbury, how excited do you have to be that you have this many pieces to work with and a second-year quarterback in Jaden Daniels?
You know, Fred has that saying. I just brought it up. Let Grandma cook.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited to see, because you think about last season, the second half of the season. They was chirping. Oh, Cliff normally face in the second half.
They sure were.
Yeah. And he showed you with the guys that we had that he reached a little bit in that bag and said, look, man, I have what Fred called the force multiplier. I can lean on this guy that he's going to make sure all these other guys get better. And when you look at what a guy like Zach Ertz did last year, I mean,
balled out.
It was at one point.
Rejuvenated.
It was at one point they said it was a stat. He was 24 attempts and 24 catches.
And 24 catches.
And
at the end of the year.
And I think 12 of those was first down.
Yeah.
So when you have guys that's showing you, man, that I can be this guy for you, and then you get a guy like, Debo come in here, you bring Noah back, you get Gallup. I mean, you get the guy that we just got, Lane from B-Tech.
Yeah.
Like he has so many weapons that he can dig in that bag and say, now I can reach a little bit because I also have protection. I'm also going to have more protection up front for my guy Jaden, that I don't have to worry about keeping more blockers in.
No, if it's say like the tight end, keeping the tight end in, keeping the fullback in, keeping the running back in. Now we can release 5.
Yeah.
Now we can release 4. Yeah. Now we can go vertical. Like what they did, they gave themselves a chance to open up the whole entire playbook. Like Cliff Kingsbury, I know this is going to be hard to believe for a lot of people. He had to hold back his playbook last year because we didn't have the pieces needed for him to just say, I'm going to call it freely. Right? Now, he can call it freely. We got guys that can beat you vertically. We got guys that can beat you in the trenches. We got guys that can get 3rd and 1. We got everything he needs to just say, I'm finna open this playbook up. Jinx, they can be dangerous.
No doubt.
Man, it's exciting to think about. Now we got to talk about the defensive side of the ball. But before we do that, We got to pay some bills. You want to read?
Oh, it's up on me this time? I don't even think I got my reads with me. Give it to me.
All right, you want it?
Yeah, give me my read.
All right, right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. The Get Loud podcast is brought to you by MWAA. We don't travel to escape life. We travel so life don't escape us. We dream of any place in the world, in the blink of an eye, we're there. That's the wonder of flight. All you have to do is decide where to. Dulles International Airport. Let your imagination soar. Book your adventure today at flydulles.com/nonstop.
It's beautiful.
That's beautiful, Fred.
Brought to you by Mississippi State University.
So, how does it feel when you're a Bulldog and you see a guy in Trey Amos who went to Ole Miss who looks as good as he looks early?
I still love him.
Yeah.
I still love him.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, I love him for this reason, because he plays my position, which is a very hard position, Jinx. It's a very hard position, which nobody sometimes gives any respect, because y'all love us one day and y'all hate us the next. We were just talking about Marshawn Lattimore. Some people in here feel like Marshawn Lattimore didn't live up to what he was supposed to live up to.
It's hard.
And I say it's a hard life for a hard person.
Yeah.
Understand that job is a love-hate relationship, Jinx. I heard you talk trash about me when I was playing, Jinx.
You heard me talk trash about you?
I heard you talk trash about me, Jinx.
We all done been there, man.
I mean, at the end of the day, with any position, but particularly corner, I mean, you know this.
Yeah.
You just have to have that short memory.
Yeah, you have to.
Very short memory.
And look, this guy here had one of the best. Because I've seen, look, no lie. That's why I love Fred. No, trust me. Because I saw Fred in college. I saw him in the league. And same attitude, same intensity, never shied down. If Fred gave up a catch, better believe the next play he finna tell you that he finna jam you into the bleachers. Like, he just had that kind of confidence about his game. And when you see him off the field, the same personality. So it's very rare to see a guy that cares when they play that position. You can't care. Because if you care, you won't be a starter.
You won't be.
What I mean? You can't have the attitude of, I'm worried about this guy beating me or moving the chains, because it happens.
Yeah.
And
It's part of it.
Well, and that's why you were saying, Tanner, earlier that so much of this game is mental, and that's part of it, especially if you're a corner, which is, look, if I get beat over the top or whatever it is, that's the game. I just got to forget about it immediately.
Yeah.
It's the way of life, especially.
We're going to switch out the
You can hear me
microphones
better
here.
now?
Good to go.
There you go.
So when you look at a guy like Amos, I mean, if you look at his tape, it's really impressive. And even Adam Peters was saying, look, we had some offers.
Yeah.
We could have maybe moved in the draft, but we didn't want to give up the opportunity to take a guy like this. And whenever you get arguably the best player available at that spot and in a position of need, that's a win-win.
Fred talk about how smooth he is and, being that he play a receiver. One of the things that stood out to me is being a receiver, watching my team that now I cover that I once played for. The position I watched the most was the defensive backs.
Oh, really?
Because people fail to realize that's the most critical position on the defensive side other than those guys up front. Because it's so many wide receivers out there nowadays on the field at one
So
time.
many different ways.
And they're talented, man. You got the best of the best. You playing against the Chases, the Jeffersons, all those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, the Debo when he was elsewhere.
Tyreek Hill.
It's
like,
so many
dudes.
guys. So if you can't just have one, you got to have many. And to see us weak there for so long, to now seeing that's where we're paying a close interest to, saying, hey, we have to make sure we're strong here. Because if you saw what Sanders still did alone last year, he raised the game of St. Juice.
And also, it was amazing to watch. We talk about Jaden's growth, but Mikey's growth throughout the season was remarkable as well.
No. Especially when they asked him to do something that initially they wasn't asking him.
They didn't expect.
They wasn't asking him to play outside. They were like, "You're gonna be a corner, a nickel." And he was like, "No, I can play wherever you need me to play." His growth. Then you bring in a Jonathan Jones, who nobody's talking about, 2-time Super Bowl winner. Then you bring in a Trey Amos. They saying we calling for reinforcements.
Bingo.
We're calling for reinforcements on the offensive line, on the defensive line, and in the defensive backfield. We're checking all the boxes. We got better in the offseason, while a lot of teams stayed stagnant and thought they had everything locked up.
I'm glad you brought
Mike
up Jones. Yeah, because we were talking about him just before we started the pod here, and that's a guy that when you have championship experience like that, how valuable is that? Because you don't have to be a household name to add that, like, I know how to win sort of mentality.
Just think about what Bobby Wagner is doing right now for a young Jaden Daniels, like telling him things that is going to better him year 2, year 3. You know what I mean? Like when you have those kind of guys, it just, and it heightens everybody else's game around him.
Yeah. No, it brings awareness to the locker room. Like when somebody like Bobby Wagner walk in your locker room, he automatically becomes the captain.
Yeah.
Like you the captain because you've been
Like, you
there,
just
done
know.
that. No, you've been there and you've done that. I watch you do it. I watch you go win Super Bowls. I watch you be a part of a championship team. Like, how can we become that? Like, I have to ask you this question, and I love it because I was walking the other day while we was filming, and I was walking to the trailer, and I was just watching Jaden walking with Bobby, and just asking him questions. Like, he's picking his brain every second of the day, Jinx.
Yeah.
Like, that's telling me that this kid want to be great. He don't want to be good. He wants to be great.
So let me ask you this for each of you guys. Who was that guy for you when you were playing that you could say, let me reach out to this guy because I respect how he plays the game, what he's done, and soak in that knowledge?
For me, I was one of those guys that I probably didn't reach out as much as I should have, but I felt like I had the blueprint that was homegrown. A guy from University of Miami, Edin James.
I was going to say you had the U.
Yeah. He left 2 years prior, and he would call our locker room every day and talk to certain individuals, guys that he was close to, and be like, bro, when you get here, you're going to kill it. Oh, man, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you got to do this, you got to do that. So by the time I got there, I had the game. I felt like I soaked it up from watching him play it, but also listening to him in the offseason when he do come home and we hanging out. He's just telling us, he's just giving us game about how to approach things. Already that we're getting trained as collegiate players right now at the University of Miami to be pros. He say no other college guy came into his draft more prepared than him because of what our coaches did for us at UM. So when you have a guy like that that's telling you things, when I got to the pros, I was almost stubborn and I didn't want to learn from nobody because I felt like I had it.
Yeah. Well,
you walked into a room of gold jackets.
I often say, I don't know if y'all like Game of Thrones, but I had the three-eyed raven when I came here. I had Darryl Green. I had the ageless one. Then I had Deion Sanders. Then I had Chip Bailey. Like, everybody I asked a question to had a gold answer for me. And they would answer anything for me. Like, all I had to do was be inquisitive. And that's what I was always. I was always willing to ask, how do you do this? Why do you do this? How do you play a tall receiver? How do you play a small receiver? Why do you move laterally like this? Like, what's your mission at the beginning of this play? Like, I had a wealth of knowledge, and because I had that wealth of knowledge, Jinx, that's why I started so fast.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I moved so fast, because they was answering questions, because I was answering like 100 a day.
And he was Fred.
Yeah, I was asking 100 a day.
I would have loved to be a fly on the wall and seeing how Darryl Green and Deion Sanders and Champ Beatty told him to shut up every now and then because
they go into a corner running
this
mouth. What do you think about this guy over here?
Who is this
damn rookie?
Who is this guy over here?
Man, that damn Fred, man. They went home, their ears are ringing.
No, I'm here. Like I told them, I'm the roach in the room. Like, the one thing we know about down south, once a roach get in your house, it ain't going nowhere, G. It's there forever.
Brothers and sisters coming by.
When you look at the linebackers on this team, we know about Bobby Wagner. We know about Frankie Louvu. Kane Madano is fascinating. Fastest guy at linebacker at the NFL Combine.
4'4".
And this is a guy who obviously can play that spot, but could also, he kind of moves like a strong safety too.
Yeah. I mean, he talked about just being here for one. It's great for him just knowing that he have Ken Norton there coaching him again. Yeah. That stood out to me.
Didn't he tell him, come get me?
Bingo.
Oh, draft day?
Text him, say, come get me, say a prayer, and the phone rung. Now, in that order, text the coach, come get me, let me say a prayer, ring, phone rung. Like, God.
That's how it happened, Jinx. Did
is that right?
It was
I'd
answered.
heard that story. I didn't know. I was like, is that legit?
Yeah.
No, Ken Norton coached him in college. The draft was going. He texts Coach, and like, Coach, come get me.
And
like, 4 picks later,
a prayer,
Coach Kane got him.
A prayer and a ring.
Yes.
No, but I mean, when you look at the kid, he's a hybrid to me. Like, he's one of those guys that I'm very interested in just seeing what they're going to do with him because, you know, especially if he jump off the charts and go out there and tell you, like, look, it's going to be hard for you to sit me down.
You can't sit me down.
I mean, because he has the size, he's long.
He has the speed.
He can cover. Yeah. That's one of the things that we want to see more.
He can really cover.
He can cover. So when you have a guy that can cover and that's in between of being a safety and a linebacker, you make up a position for him. Like, look here, I'm going to put you in the box and play football. Yeah. So, I'm very high on him just seeing, you know, how ready is he? How soon can he be ready?
How huge is it to have a guy like that in Coach Norton that believes in you, or in even when honestly, in any job ever, when you have someone who says, I know exactly what you can do, that's huge.
No, I had Coach Schottenheimer when I got here. Coach Marty Schottenheimer, bless his soul, was a DB's head coach. And when he got me, he said, I believe in you, and I'm putting everything on you.
He ain't believe in me, that's why he ain't get me.
No, he gonna think about it. Dan
wanted me. Schottenheimer wanted Rod Gardner because he was taller.
I don't know why we went big on big. We already had a big receiver.
Yeah, we done had that stuff.
But the thing about it is, I love the fact that when he drafted me, he like he said, I drafted you with a purpose. And when a team drafts you with a purpose, that gives you a faster step to get where you need to be. And you also understand that I got a chance here.
Yeah.
Like, we all get here thinking, I'm in the league, everything's good. No. Am I here for a purpose? And I think we got him here for a purpose.
When you look at free agent additions on the defense, which is a guy that stands out to you? Is it Will Harris? Is it Javon Kinlaw, who goes back to AP back in the San Francisco days?
Yeah.
A guy that's going to step up this season and make us, maybe surprise us a little bit.
I'm going to say Harris. I'm going to jump out there because I told you I'm a receiver. I'm looking at DBs.
Yeah.
I'm looking at who can make a difference in that secondary, and especially when you got a guy that we missing out on, to me, who I thought was one of our to me, he was like the unsung hero on our defense last year in Chin.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he played down the stretch, how he played throughout the season. When you don't bring a guy like him back, any guy that you fill in that void with, he has to be for real.
He has to play good.
He has to bring it.
Yeah.
So, Harris jumps off the chart right now to me. Just, I'm going to probably pay close attention to him, not only because he's going to have that position, but I think from what I watched him, how he played in New Orleans, the intensity, how Coach Joe with Junior talk about he want to see those guys coming the way they come, have violence on their mind when they come in making tackles.
He has the right mindset for this team.
No doubt. So to me, that jumps off, and I'm looking forward to seeing him replace that position, replace that guy who we had there, because if he can make up for that loss, we moving in the right direction defensively.
I'm gonna go Javon Kinlaw, and I'm gonna go Kinlaw for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
One, he from Washington D.C.
Yeah.
Like born and raised.
Homegrown.
Two, he was homeless in Washington, D.C. He didn't feel pain. All right. Three, I told you I like fat boys.
Bacon grease.
I told you I like fat boys. Like, they said, we're going to level up with you, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Kinlaw.
And they have to.
Yeah, they have to. That's why I said I think he is one of those guys that can change everything, because you don't just got to play him at tackle. You can play him at big end.
Yeah.
You can play him anywhere you want to on the defensive front. I think they understood we need to stop the run before we can stop the pass. And I think a lot of people want an edge rusher, want that. I told you, I think the quickest way to the quarterback is through the A gap, not the D gap.
You've always said that, just straight up.
I really do feel that way.
Interior.
So when you look at this team, we're going to get an inside look at what they're battling deep into the fall when Hard Knocks covers the NFC East.
Hard Knocks is coming to D.C.
It's going to be great. You guys are going to be all over it.
Yeah, we're going to be all over it.
But I can't wait.
He's going to be sneaking.
This dude's going to be front and center.
Cameos and
no
stuff.
question about it. But I feel like now we're transitioning into a stage in the division where it is, at least for the next couple of years, at least Commanders, Eagles battling for the top of the division. And we're getting to see it right there in front of us.
Well, I think, for the most part, regardless of if it was the Cowboys or the Giants or someone else, we beat each other up year round.
The NFC East do this.
That's what we do.
It don't matter.
And at one time, they didn't pay attention to this division because it was never that one team that stood out.
Yeah.
But now they see that, this is why. Yeah. It's never one team that's the NFC East champs every year, because they're dominant here. And I'm glad now that it's at the point to where you get an Eagles team that has been to the Super Bowl twice in the last 3-4 years, and then they won once. Now the attention comes back over there, there's something over there, because they don't just dominate that division. They have battles against those guys that they play in that division. So I love it, and I'm happy that Hard Knocks said, hey, we don't want one team, we want them all.
I love it.
And you got to realize the drama in Dallas with Jerry Jones. Philadelphia with those bleacher creatures that they call fans up in they thing. Then you got the New York Giants. Then you got America's hottest team, the Washington Commanders.
Straight up.
this is perfect timing.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about 4 of the biggest markets in the NFL. It's all work. It's semantics, if you know what I mean.
Then if you want to, really get down to the nitty-gritty, you talk about the quarterback play.
Yeah.
The first time in history that one division got 4 African-American quarterbacks.
Like the first time ever.
Yeah.
Which I hope Jameis win that job in New York. Like, I'm pulling for Jameis.
You never know with Jameis.
Yeah.
I love Jameis. I love Jameis Winston. I'm sorry, I do.
So, are Eagles fans still sliding into your DMs after you went after them a few months ago?
I call them bleacher creatures for a reason. All right, listen. Stop all that clapping. Stop all that clapping. All right, at the end of the day, them bleacher creatures.
Okay.
They are in my DMs to this
All
day.
the time.
And they won the Super Bowl, Jinx.
Right.
Why are they still attacking me?
There was a dude talking to you. I saw this. I watched it go on X. It was like a month after the game. And I'm like, still.
What are you talking about? You won the Super Bowl. We're not y'all. You did your thing. Congratulations. We got 3 trophies. Y'all got 2.
Fred, you know how it is. You one of those guys that, regardless of what happens, just you saying something is going to get somebody's attention.
It's going to ignite them. It's going to ignite them. I'm good with that.
We're going to pay some bills. Then we're going to get to voicemails, get some fan questions as well. Everything. No
Just
fan
fan-
questions. Just fan questions. All right. Thank God Anna's here to keep us on track. Guys, let's talk about SeatGeek for a second. One of the sponsors of this show, SeatGeek, has your ticket to the best live concerts in the DMV area at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek makes it easy to catch world-conquering tours and high-wattage performances from your favorite artists all summer long. SeatGeek has your seat, the best seat for an unforgettable summer. From rock royalty to rap superstars, R&B to country, find it all on SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of Northwest Stadium. Summer concert season officially starts with SeatGeek. Aren't you going to see a concert soon?
I'm going to the Kendrick Lamar concert.
With SZA?
Because Drake let us down.
You ain't invite your boy?
I'm going because Drake let us down.
You ain't invite your boy,
Because
man.
he's not like us, so I'm going to the Kendrick Lamar concert. I'm going to the concert. Yes, I am.
Okay, that's what I thought. Time now for fan questions. Great to have you guys with us here on Get Live. And for this, we bring in the incredible, let's give her a hand, Anna. All right, yeah.
Good job.
Anna.
Colorado's finest.
All right, we ready for our first fan question?
All right, we're ready.
We are.
It's the final 2 minutes in the 2025 Super Bowl. Oh, Dan Quinn needs you to take the field and help the D hold on to a thin 6-point lead. Could Fred Smoot do it right now?
All right, I heard the end of that. You said 2025 Super Bowl. Fred Smoot is in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Coach Dan Quinn needs me to do what?
They need you to help the D hold on to a thin 6-point lead.
Could I do it?
Could you do it?
Right now.
Yes,
Right now.
I can.
You lie.
There we go.
Listen to me. I ain't got but one play
That was
in
close.
me.
And one foot.
Hey,
Your feet always hurt.
I ain't got but one play in me. And if Coach Dan Quinn asks me to give 3 plays, I got 3 plays in me. Like, I'm sorry. I haven't not met a man that brings out the energy like Coach Quinn brings out in the person.
Yeah.
So if I don't think I could do it, I believe he could make me think that I could. I think he can make I think that I could.
Yeah.
I love that.
Just one play. That's it. You can do one play.
Look, one play.
I believe in you.
That's all y'all need me for is one play.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Next question.
Okay, we'll start with Santana, and then we'll have Fred. Okay, Santana. We need a Mount Rushmore of wide receivers to you, and then Fred, Mount Rushmore of wide receivers that you've faced.
Okay.
So
Ooh.
Santana got to do Mount Rushmore receivers, his thing, and mine that I faced.
So are these
All right.
receivers all time or just for right now?
I think that
For
you
each.
that you played with.
In
or
our
all-
time.
Yeah,
All right,
that
our
you
time,
played
our
with.
time, our time.
Okay.
Who your top 3?
It's hard,
Or
man.
4. Let's
I
see.
mean, Jerry
Rice gotta be
Jerry sit alone on the throne by himself.
All right, all right,
Five.
all right.
I'm going to have to put Randy Moss in there.
Okay.
He could go any spot. And then to be technical with it, people might not like this, but I'm going to say Marvin Harrison.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't gonna get mad at that. I'm not gonna get mad at that. All right, if I had
It's 4 though, right? It's 4 guys, right?
Yeah.
It's 4.
2 more.
no T.O. in there.
Yeah, I'll put T.O. in. I mean, but it's almost like those guys with the most numbers you're going to put up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I go T.O.
All right. As a guy that played against all of those guys, Jerry Wright's number 1. We're not going to
yeah,
we're
that's
not
easy.
even doing that. All right. Randy Moss, a damn weapon. All right. I'm going to go T.O. number 3. And I'm going to go Santana Moss number 4. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. So I got 2 Mosses
Curveball.
in my top 4.
Okay, Jenks, for you.
Oh, for me?
Sports commentators.
What are you drinking right now?
Mount Rushmore of sports commentators.
Oh, Mount Rushmore of sports commentators?
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Brown ain't in there. Jim Brown ain't in there. What's going on?
Oh, man. God, I have to think about this one. Well, one is Dale Hansen, a guy I grew up admiring. Okay. Number 2, I love Craig Kilborn because Kilborn could do everything back when he was at ESPN. But when you're talking about the greats, if you're talking about play-by-play guys, I mean, Pat Summerall's up there.
Oh, yes,
I mean,
sir. You can't do it without Pat Summerall.
Simple, elegant, the way he did everything. He didn't have to describe everything. You could understand what was going on just by listening to his cadence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, man, one more.
You don't like Madden?
I mean, you got to put Madden in there.
I've been saying, like, come on, if you don't put Madden in there, like,
you have to, right?
Come on, dude.
Boom, pow.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bang. He changed the way we listen to sports.
And also, when you think about the chemistry, too.
Yeah.
The chemistry between Madden and Summerall was something very special you really can't replicate.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Those are my guys.
Hey, that was a good question.
Great question.
You should give me that question.
That one, shout out Jason. That was a great one.
Next time, ask Smoot that question.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a great question.
Okay, this one is for Fred. Which quarterback that you picked off in your career threw the most catchable ball?
The quarterback, the one quarterback that I picked off the most was Brett Favre. I picked off Brett Favre 5 times. One to the house. Brett threw the most catchable ball that you could ever catch. All right. The thing about it is, he threw that ball because he wasn't afraid. Like the thing is, he'll throw a pick and he'll come back and throw it again at you. That's the thing about it. So Brett Favre is the quarterback that I picked off the most, threw the most catchable ball. But boy, was he hard to play. He was hard to play now.
Oh, that's a good one.
Next one. Do you think NIL has gotten out of hand?
No.
Fred just wants to get the bag.
We've been getting NIL and SEC since the 01.
Go ahead and snitch.
Did you see the dude from Oregon?
Yeah.
When Dan Lanning took his shirt off, jumped into the pool? That kid decommitted.
No.
17 days later.
No.
Didn't they offer him $1 million?
I don't know what it was, but he's the number 3 player, I think, in California, an edge out of Cali.
Yeah.
Decommitted 2.5 weeks later.
So I will say, for me, NIL, it's a little, I think it's at a point to where they need to put a cap on it.
They're going to have to cap it.
Because I feel that it's unfair to be a team. Say, for instance, I'm a head coach. I go out there and work hard to recruit you. Find the money from boosters or whoever I'm getting this money from. Sign you on the line for 1 year, and then you jump in the portal the next year because someone's going to pay you more.
Yeah.
I think it should be a cap saying that if you're going to pay these guys as much as you're paying them, let's treat it like they're professionals. You know what I mean? They're no longer collegiate student athletes.
Yeah.
They're now getting paid to play, so it has some sort of pro-style, professionalism when it comes to paying these guys money. You got to put a cap. You got to protect your bottom line.
Well, I think the college got to protect their bottom line.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, it's one of them things where you can have a payroll of $15, $20 million, and you're not getting $20 million of football play. Mm-hmm. Like at the end of the day, I think they're going to have to do revenue sharing. Yep. Like that's going to be the thing.
That's
because
coming.
what we don't want is the baseball league. We don't want the Yankees. We don't want the Dodgers. We don't want Texas.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, we don't want Texas paying $50 million when here go a team over here
they only got $10,000.
million.
Well, the problem is these bigger schools have an inherent advantage anyway.
I mean, they got big boosters.
Right.
So.
Yeah, they do got big booster, but what I say, you got to level the playing field at one point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I understand giving Texas or Ohio State saying, you can go over the cap if you want to. But I think you got to have some revenue sharing in there to the point where every team can compete every year.
Or basically give everybody the same dollar amount. Say, look, we're going to put this on the table. Every school can only spend this amount.
$15 million.
Bingo.
Yeah.
All right, here's we'll do 2 more.
2 more from Anna.
Who is your favorite teammate that you played with? Jenks, maybe that's who your favorite or best interview was that you've ever done. That could be yours.
Favorite teammate of all time. Oh, I got so many teammates. I was a teammate guy, so you asking the wrong guy about this.
Yeah, that's hard for Fred to ask. It's hard for me too because I was one of those guys that I couldn't just say, this is my best friend. I was a guy that I can bond with anybody in the locker room. But if I had to say, this is not even going to be in New York. I mean, it's not going to be in D.C., it's going to be in New York. I had a teammate, we called him Jay Gutter. His name was Jonathan Carter. He was in our same class.
Yeah, I know Jay.
He played receiver, just as well as me, but he came over from the Giants. And I remember he was a guy that coached him, was like, he's on the bubble. He's a tweener. He could play running back in college. I'm trying to make him a receiver. I took him home with me in the offseason, came back, made the team. Coach said, yeah, he's a receiver now. So that was my guy, man. He was one of those guys that, to this day, he called me big bro, and he's older than me. Yeah. So that's how you know he rocks me that way. Yeah.
I can't even say, like, I got along with all my teammates. And most of the guys, y'all won't remember Ife Olate. He came in our class from USC, safety. I got Johnny Eubanks. I like so many dudes. Like, they're like, when I say so many dudes, when you make a friend in this league, these are the only people that know what you're going through. Yeah. They know what you're going through personally. They know what you're going through emotionally. They know what you're going through mentally. All right, so I got so many dudes that I'm friend with. Like me and Sean Springs are great friends, and I call him the bastard from the South. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We all cool. We all cool.
I will say, the one time, I would say it's my favorite athlete to interview, but my favorite interview was Randy Moss, actually. There was a time, people forget, Randy would not talk to anybody. And Randy was radioactive. Yeah. And I was sent to New England to cover the Patriots during their Super Bowl run. And I was doing a story, I thought, it's very interesting how these guys play at Gillette Stadium and they're all growing beards. Yeah. And so Randy was sitting alone, just brooding by himself, and I thought, I'm going to go ask Randy Moss this question. And I remember walking over to Randy, and the New England media was like, watch out, kid. Yeah. And I go, Randy, can I ask you a question about your beard? He goes, what? I go, don't you think it's funny that you guys play in a stadium named for a shaving company, you're all growing beards? And he goes, stay right here. He walked off, and I was like, that's it. Yeah. 30 seconds later, he cozies up next to me. He goes, all right, say that again. I asked him the question again, and he sat there and talked to me for about 4 or 5 minutes. And Randy Moss had not been talking to anyone. Yes. Later on, the rest of the media came around and started asking football questions. He got angry. He was on ESPN that night. But before that, he sat with me, we just joked around and talked for about 5 or 6 minutes, and it was awesome.
Yeah, you broke the ice a little bit.
Most definitely. Like, I know Randy, and that's how Randy is. Yeah, right. Like, if you really want to talk to Randy, talk about people.
Yeah, just talk to him.
Talk about real things, but don't come in his face and talk about 200 yards, again 25 yards against Darrelle Reeves.
Right.
He don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Last question. What's your favorite memory from your career in Washington?
Favorite memory from your career in Washington? For me, it was draft day. Like, it got to go draft day. Because draft day, I was wondering who, where, when, what, and I got that call from Marty Schottenheimer, and he said, you coming to Washington, D.C., and I'm still in Washington, D.C. Yeah. So that tells you how much love I got for Washington, D.C. It works. Yeah. Hey, I love you too, girl.
My favorite memory, I wouldn't say it's mine, but I say the fans' favorite memory would probably be Monday Night Miracle. I give it to them. I let them win that every time because I have a ton of other memories, but they're not gonna let me let that one die.
You know what? The funny part is Santana gets mad when y'all call him Cowboy Killer.
I gave up. I gave up.
Like he say, I played a lot more games against a lot more people, but y'all only remember those 2 catches.
No, I understand it. I understand it, and that's why I gave in. I'm like, you know what? You're right. So but that would never leave my memory bank because they don't allow it to.
Yeah.
So before we wrap things up, what do you think about the NFL now allowing players to compete in the Olympic Games in flag football?
Damn. That's what I had to say about it.
Hey, we could have played in the Olympics and we wasn't so damn old.
Yeah.
That's what they tell
You know,
me.
these flag football dudes are like, no. We are the best players in the world.
You're not. You're not.
That's why I'm asking.
It ain't a flag football wide receiver better than Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
It ain't a flag football wide receiver better than Justin Jenkins. It ain't a flag football DB better than any of the DBs in the league. Yes, you play that game. Yes, you do it all the time. No, football belongs to us. All right, let's get it. Let's be serious.
I think it's only fair when you look at how the basketball players get to go over there and play for the country. All the track athletes. I mean, that's their time to shine anyway.
No
the
doubt.
Olympics is what they train for year in and year out and forever, because it almost takes what?
4 years.
It's 4 years,
Yeah,
right?
it does.
So if you're going to allow football to be played, why not allow the real football players play?
The best in the world.
Regardless of if it's a flag or not. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. But I'm not against allowing the ones that actually play flag football professionally to go out there and strut their stuff too. I just feel like make it fair enough where we can both get a squad and say the best team goes on to represent this country.
If you had an opportunity to compete for a gold medal, how much motivation would that be?
That's all the motivation. Like, what you need, Jinx?
That's why
Like,
I'm
if
asking.
I can bring a gold medal home.
Oh my
like,
God. You wear it every day.
Every day I have a rash on my chest because of this gold medal. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you got to look at it as a whole. I say this. Do you know how many players from the past wish they could have played in the Olympics?
Yeah.
Like, we watch the Olympics as a fan base, as a nation. We all get together to watch the best athletes in the world. And you cannot tell me the NFL players ain't a part of that 1% of the best athletes in the world. So, I would have loved to play in it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things as kids, and especially for myself, being a track athlete, that was my two goals. I wanted to make it to the Olympics, for the long jump, and I wanted to make it to the NFL, and it's crazy that my junior year, I made it to Olympic trials in the long jump. I didn't compete because I was going to football, but so just to think that as a football player, I get a chance to go out there and compete on that level, on that stage, just seeing, as a kid, man, I couldn't wait to see the Olympic Games. Like, I would watch things that I never paid attention to in life.
That's a level that's hard to imagine.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched water polo, I watched synchronized swimming. Yeah. You just watching it because it's that special to you, So
it's the world compete.
You can't imagine how I would feel to be able to be a part of that, playing a sport that's near and dear to me, that I'm really great at, and I can go out here and compete on that level for my country.
And think about this, Jinx. The world been kicking our butt in soccer for a long time. Like, when they play football against us,
it's all
they
us.
ain't got a chance.
We're gonna win gold, silver, and bronze.
We're gonna win gold. So guess what? It's about time we had a leverage in football.
Yeah, no doubt.
You want to have a quick draft? Like, if you had to draft a flag football team?
All right, if I had to do it now.
Who we drafting?
Let's start. Okay, so quarterback.
It's 2 years from now, right?
So quarterback.
Who we get to pick?
3 receivers.
Okay.
All right.
And a running back. Any order.
I'm going to go Jaden Daniels as my quarterback. I'm going to keep that youth in there. I'm going to go Jamar Chase. I'm going to go Justin Jenkins.
Justin Jefferson.
I'm going to Jefferson Jackson. And I'm going to go, who I'm going to put in the slot? I want to put Tyreek Hill.
I was going to say.
That was 3 receivers, right?
Yeah, there's 3 receivers.
Okay.
And I got my running back. I'm going Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
I'm going Saquon. Who you got?
So I will go Lamar Jackson since you got Jaden already.
All right.
Receiver-wise, I will go. You already picked the 2 guys I like the most. So let me see. I'm going Terry. Scary Terry.
All right.
I'm going to go Debo. I'm going to go on both receivers.
That boy. Hey.
And then I'm going to keep it in the NFC, and I'm going to pick my guy Brown, AJ Brown.
That's a good one.
Running backs, I'm going Gibbs from Detroit.
Oh, Jamar Gibbs.
Yes, Lord.
All right.
I go Josh Allen at quarterback. I'm trying to go different here. I would take, Tyreek is such a good one because you just want guys in the open field, right?
Yeah, because we didn't pick no tight ends.
Yeah. But we didn't get a chance to.
Yeah.
Oh, can we pick a tight end?
At running back, I would take Bijan Robinson because you can split out Bijan.
Yeah.
Texas in you did that.
And also, like, you get a guy who can do it. You can split him out. You can have him in the backfield. Maybe go Amon-Ra St. Brown.
All right.
I will do that. Let's see who else. Maybe CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb,
the Cowboy.
Now, we don't care about you a Cowboy now.
If you're, if you go
As
for the
long
goal.
as you're American.
Yeah, exactly. And then I might just go straight, maybe a Jalen Waddle or someone like that. You could just get in the open field.
You
could
want
run.
Wiggle.
I just want Wiggle like.
Or Smith.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Devontae Smith would be great, too. Yeah.
I want wiggle. Like, this is not about script.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why I didn't go big. I went more guys that's twitchy.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's all it's about when it's flag football. And when you pick on defense, what makes it so hard is it's a difference between tackling somebody and pulling the flag.
Yeah.
Pulling the flag is hand coordination, and tackling somebody is physicality. So I think you got to watch how you pick your defensive players.
So here we go. In a few days, it's going to be June.
Yeah.
We're going to be mid-June. We're going to talk about training camp here in a couple months.
Yeah.
Is this the time when you start to get excited a little bit, or is this the calm before the storm?
Calm before the storm. You talking about as a player?
Yeah.
Or as a guy who?
Yeah.
As a fan.
Which one you want to talk about?
Let's do both.
Okay,
All
well,
right,
as
all
a
right.
player, I'm looking for that last vacation right now. I'm like, I'm in OTA.
Because you know when it hits, it hits.
Let me hit Cancun right quick.
I need one more trip to get it out my system.
I got to right now.
I need one more trip to get it out my
I need
system.
to go to Canada and go to the carnival
But
right now. That's what I need.
once I see that date, once I know that report date is near,
Yeah.
I try not to wait. I go ahead and fly back.
A week ahead of time.
Get here a week ahead of time, so now I can kind of like count down that day I'm at the report, because now it's go time. And then as a guy sitting in the seat I'm in now, you know, us covering the team, being analysts, it's football year round for us. So
Yeah, it never stops.
I mean, look at us right now.
I
You know what
enjoy
I mean?
every moment of it. I enjoy the anticipation of just getting to the OTAs and then what's going on now, and some of the guys that's not there. I'm going to enjoy the part when they break, just knowing that it's training camp will be a couple of weeks away. So I love what we're doing now, because we get a chance to watch, follow, and not have to worry about all the stuff that we worry about as players.
Yeah, I've been saying at the end of the day right now, this is easy.
Yeah.
Like, right now is easy because it's no pressure on you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody healthy. Nobody's hurt. All right, everybody trying to.
It's all good vibes right now.
It's all good vibes right now. It's the honeymoon stage. That's what it is. It's the honeymoon stage. But when real football start, let's be honest. We are the kids on the block now. Everybody want to see us.
Yeah.
We got 7 primetime games. All right, we got a quarterback that everybody want to see. We got a head coach everybody want to see. We playing in Madrid, Spain. Like, we are the hot ticket right now.
Yeah.
So I think they preparing for that. They understand. Ain't no sneaking up on nobody no more. Ain't no sneaking up on nobody
And that's a
more.
position we wouldn't wait to be in for a long time.
That's where we want to be at.
So let's get it. Been great being here at Franklin Hall. Got an awesome crew here. Anna, Jason, Maddie, Kayla, Caroline. Did I miss anybody? I hope not. Thank you guys for coming out.
Appreciate you.
Always a pleasure to be with these guys.
Mouth
Fred
to the
Smoot,
south.
Santana Moss. We'll see you guys next week. The views and opinions expressed by our podcast guests and or hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Washington Commanders or any of their representatives.